asked to play a role of an animal in your school skit, which animal would you choose? Tiger. But why? Yes, I know, because tiger is very powerful and strong and all the animals scared of it. But what if the tiger has been imprisoned in a small cage? Can anyone then be scared of tiger? No, as we have already witnessed this in the zoo. Hello, Yasmin here from My Education My Power. Today in this video we'll be discussing about the poem A Tiger in the Zoo from the book First Flight Class 10. The entire poem will be appearing on the screen before you with meaning of all the difficult words. Let's get started. The poet George Leslie Norris was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. Today he is considered one of the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period. In the poem, A Tiger in the Zoo talks about his liberty and freedom. He says every human or animal loves freedom. No one likes to be imprisoned. In the poem, the tiger is not free. It has been encaged and its liberty has been snatched away. It cannot show its power and courage as it used to show in the jungle. It cannot roam around, thus it has rage in its eyes. But it is encaged. Hence it cannot do anything and thus remains quiet. The poet is also throwing light on the rights of animals. Man has encaged wild animals for his entertainment. It is unjust because every living organism must have right to liberty and freedom. In the case of tiger, he has been forcibly put in the cage. Let's begin the lesson with the reading of the poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. He should be snarling around houses, at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. But his locked in concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Here in the first stanza, the poet gives an insight to the condition of the tiger. He says that a tiger that is confined in the zoo moves around in the cage under his bright colored skin. He further says that a tiger walks quietly in a small cage which is not easy to move in it. One cannot hear his footsteps because he has very soft feet like velvet, because of which there is no sound of the tiger's footsteps. The tiger tries to control his anger by quietly walking in the limited area of the cage. He is angry because he knows that he is helpless here. In this stanza, the poet is filled with pity while looking at the imprisoned tiger and says that the poor tiger should have been in the natural habitat, that is the jungle, forest. Further, he says if this tiger was free, he would have been lying in the shadows of trees and hide himself behind the long grass near the water bodies so that he could easily catch a fat deer for his meal. Basically, the poet wants to say that the actual life of a tiger is to live in the jungle, where he could catch his prey and eat it, but the tiger in the cage is a different scene. Here he has to depend on others, on human beings, to satisfy his hunger. Poet feels really bad about fearless, strong tiger which seems helpless. Here the poet imagines what the tiger would be doing in case he failed to find any prey in his natural habitat, that is in the jungle, if the tiger would have free. He says that the tiger would be growling at the edge of the jungle near some village. He would terrorize people with his sharp tooth and claws. This would create fear among the people living in the villages. The poet here gives a hint that if we destroy the natural habitat of tigers, they will be forced to turn into our towns and villages to find their food. Now the poet comes to the reality of the tiger that is inside the cage. He says, in spite of all his strength, the tiger is confined in a strong cell. He further says that as the tiger is behind bars, so his ferociousness is also behind the bars. He just talks, moves in the cage. He never tries to terrorize the visitors because his power is restricted by the cage. Therefore, he takes no note of the visitors as he cannot attack them. In the very last stanza, with a very sad note, the poet says that the tiger takes no rest during the day because of the visitors, and in the night he remains disturbed due to the sounds of the patrolling cars. Patrolling cars are the vehicles of police which are used to guard at night. So in the night the tiger hears the sound of these cars. He then stares at the shining stars with his shining eyes. Perhaps he is asking heaven to the god that, is the tiger made to be imprisoned like this? The poet is sad here for the tigers, as he is confined in the cage and he cannot do anything. Therefore, the tiger stares at the stars in the night and tries to divert his thought towards them. So here the poet actually creates a positive re-signification of the tiger in this poem. Instead of showing it to be a man-eater or a cruel creature, the poet shows that in fact it hardly ever bothers with human beings and that it hunts only when it needs to eat. By showing these relatively benign aspects of the tiger's life and showing how graceful its movements can be, the poet is giving us a very important message here. He is telling us that it is unjust to remove animals from their natural habitat and that we must strive to conserve that habitat for them at all cost. Let's have the summary. This poem contrasts a tiger when it is in natural habitat and when it is imprisoned in a zoo. On a starry night, the poet sees a tiger in a zoo. The tiger moves slowly up and down in his cage. He is full of rage, but is quiet in his helplessness. The poet is moved to pity for the tiger. He says that the tiger should have been in the jungle. He should have been moving quietly in the shadows near some water hole and waiting for a plump deer to pass that way. But sadly he is locked behind the bars in a concrete cell. He does not take any notice of the visitors and is looking at the brilliant stars with his brilliant eyes. Now he has to be content with merely looking at the stars. He is no longer free to move in his natural habitat and look at the brilliant stars from there. So my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this beautiful lesson. This is all for today. I'll see you again with another inspiring lesson. Till then, take a very good care of yourself. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, then click the button down there. Bye for now.